This is Jane Marie.
And this is Soko.
You are now listening to the Queer Ambition Podcast.
The Queer Ambition Podcast is the only podcast celebrating rising LGBTQ professionals,
Providing advice on navigating the modern workplace.
and discussing polarizing topics within the community.
Now listen up.
So fuck it, let's just go right in. All right, welcome to the Queer Ambition Podcast. Today we have Karima, aka K Black, creator of 65 Black, Fuck 28 Days, Whiskey and Yoga, Subculture, with many, many other things. Funny, I messaged K Black the other day, and I was like, hey, K. She was like, since when do you call me K? And I was like, you're right, it sounded weird when I typed it. But no, welcome to the podcast, Karima.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me back.
I know, you were our second interview.
Yeah.
November 2017.
17, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, time flies, doesn't it?
You took a chance on us.
Yes, you took a chance on me. Who knows what I would have said?
I mean, from then to now, I feel like, you know, everyone's progressed majorly in their own lanes. And I think that's awesome. I think it's a good time to come back together and just shoot the shit and just have some good conversation.
Heck yes.
All right. So usual overview of the episode, icebreaker questions, mentally stimulate me. You know, we don't need the icebreakers here, but they're fun. And I want to see what K Black is thinking. Then we're just gonna go into 5 questions, catch up with her real quick. And then we're gonna talk a little bit about Black History Month, you know, celebrating our Blackness. And then also the Super Bowl just took place and also talk about a little bit about that. So let's go into it.
All right. Let's start with these icebreaker questions. So we're gonna take turns. We're gonna take turns answering. These are a little bit unorthodox, so they don't align with Black History Month or anything. But
All right.
they're fun. They're fun. All right. So you and Bae get pulled over by the police. The officer comes to the window, and your partner starts cussing the officer out. What do you do? A, curse the officer out too. B, tell Bae to chill. C, keep quiet. Or D, apologize to the officer so that you're not shocked. What do you do?
Who's first?
You're first.
I am going to use, is that B or C? Tell Bae to chill, like, you know, just try to de-escalate the situation from her to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Soko, what are you doing?
I agree. I'm telling Bae to chill. I'm not trying to get shot over no bullshit. You gotta, I don't know. You gotta tread waters lightly sometimes. Why be cursing them out? Relax.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with D. I'm actually gonna apologize. Officer, you know, she's just a little high strung. She's a little stressed out today. I apologize. Don't shoot us. Yeah, I'm taking. Okay.
Don't shoot us. Not for you,
Question number 2 is also multiple choice. So you are out eating and overhear someone next to you reveal that they are a scammer. They leave their wallet full of cash on the table. What do? A, nothing. B, you take the wallet and leave. C, turn the wallet into the authorities because you're a snitch. Or D, depends.
What was D?
It depends. Which is the most vague response.
What?
Like, leave that one out. You could not. It's A, B, or C. Nothing. Take the wallet, or you're snitching.
Draw a snitch.
Jay Marie, I feel like you're snitching, Jay Marie. You think so? She's snitching.
Wow, Soko, you really don't know me.
No, I'm looking at your face. No, me, you taking a wallet, boo.
I was gonna say, I'm taking a wallet.
I know you taking that wallet.
Wallet, bruh, because I am Joanne the scammer. So.
Joanna met Joanna. I'm doing nothing.
Oh,
Nothing?
Yeah, I think I'd rather mind my business. I don't know who might be watching me if I can't get it.
Same, I'm doing nothing. Mm-mm.
All right, y'all are much better than me. I was like, oh, she a scammer. She don't need this.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. This is a yes or no question. Deal break. Yes or no. Yes or no. Do you go through your partner's phone behind their back? Yes or no?
No.
Soko.
Have I done it before? Yes, I've done it before. Is it something that I want to do? No. but it happens sometimes. It's been a while.
You have never gone on your partner's phone without
me?
knowing? Yes.
Just like pick up her phone
and just go on it, and she's not there.
We used to share the same phone because I didn't have a phone for a while. So like, yeah, we had the same phone. I would have her phone.
No. If you have two separate phones.
I mean, doesn't that surpass it? Like if they're using the same phone,
it's different though, because if they're using the same phone, of course, I'm not saying her partner's up to anything, but your partner's less likely to be doing some shady shit if you're sharing a phone. But if she has her own device, you get what I'm saying? So you're saying you've never done that before? No,
not with my current girlfriend. I've done it in the past, but not currently, not at all.
But I feel like, you know, when you're young, dumb, and in love, I feel like everyone's gone through someone's phone.
I've gone through the phones in the past.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not expecting to find anything. Still.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you do that? Do you go through your partner's phone?
No, I really don't. But But have I? Yes.
Yeah.
And I always find some shit that I don't want to find.
That's why you don't do it.
Every time. Yeah.
I definitely used to do that.
Yeah. That's a huge deal breaker for me because I don't want someone to go through my phone. I feel like my phone is kind of like sometimes the conversations I have with my friends, they're deep and they're private, right? It's like kind of like my diary to me, you know, these conversations that I have with my friends. So for someone to go through my phone and start reading those conversations that are meant for those eyes, that's a huge deal breaker.
Yes, this kind of, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Go into these 5 quick questions. And by quick, I mean probably really long because we're going to ask you. Okay. This is all about you. This is your time to kind of sound off. So your first question is, describe yourself in 1 word.
Dope.
That's a good one. Why dope? Why was it the first thing you thought of?
It's something I feel like is so easy. I don't even know what dope means, but I just think that word is just perfect. It sounds good. And at least the way my definition of it, I fit it.
What's your definition?
Ooh. I am a combination of things, and I'm not afraid to do what I love. So I feel like that's pretty dope. And I'm doing what I love. So I think that's dope. I don't know my definition of dope. I'm trying to get it right now. I'm sorry.
You're all good. You're fine. You know, you are dope. You work on so many things that just benefit so much of the community. You know, you're this. I feel like I've known you for such a long time, and now I look at you as like K Black, the activist. You know what I mean? Out there in the community, hitting the streets. You know, talking to everybody. So out of that, like, what's your biggest passion? Right? What really calls you?
Service. People, more so service. Like, I like to help people. I like to, especially people I don't know. It's weird. I help people I know too, but like, I like to assist people with things, small stuff. People walking down the street and they're looking for directions, or they look like they're lost. And I'm like, you know, I see a lot of people nowadays, they're walking with their GPS right in their head. Simple stuff like that. I just like to be there to help somebody. Like, oh, I know the area. Where you trying to go? Make a left right there. I like to be of service.
Right. So I don't know where it comes from, but they have like different types of leaderships. And one of the leadership quality is a servant's leader. And you're kind of a servant leader because you lead by serving your community and serving people. That's the way you lead.
Okay, yeah. That's what I like.
Jay, Marie, have you ever heard of those?
No, I was gonna ask her, like, have you always been this way? Like, where? Because I'm kind of curious when you kind of made this. Well, when you kind of came into being this type of person. Not to say that, you know, you weren't always in your own way, but just like for you, if you could kind of like identify when you really started to want to give back more and take on this leadership role for your community.
I don't know if I just think I've just become a lot more comfortable, and you know, when people say everything begins within. So I feel like I went on a self-development, you know, self-love or whatever journey. And that's when like I was like, dang, I'm finding myself. I'm realizing who I am. I'm realizing my worth. I'm realizing that, you know, a part of even just my clothing now is just my perspective, just my scope on life. And I've come into like identifying with, oh shit, like this has always kind of been here. But now I value myself a lot more. So I value my voice. I value my opinion. I have a lot less fear. And those things I feel like, but at the time I would say, I moved from Philly I moved from up top down here. And I was like, this city kind of definitely helped me like with just a lot of things. Like Atlanta is a city where you can do what you want for real. And I think up top, it was just a little different. And I also didn't know who I was like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could completely relate to you saying coming from, you know, the Northeast, moving to Atlanta, you finding yourself a little bit more. Because Atlanta makes it easy for you to do that. Because I felt the same exact way. Like I really found myself and what I loved and what I valued by living in Atlanta, which I felt like if I was to remain up north, I wouldn't have gotten there as fast as I gotten there when I was in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you guys feel that way?
I also think too, I had to stepping outside of your comfort zone, around people who are quote unquote know you, or you like the no new friend thing. I feel like I totally believe in new friends and new environments because it helps you be able to just truly be who you are. And sometimes situations too, situations also, which are grooming, of course, at the end of the day, but like when you're in situations, you can't always be who you are. I guess it's not time for that, but Atlanta helped me because like it was an unfamiliar environment. I didn't know anybody, and I didn't have that. I don't know, like being from the Northeast and saying I would do like these type of things. It was different. I went to school with people who, or lived in that area with people who knew me from like high school and college and stuff. But like when you're growing into a new person, you gotta grow into new situations. And Atlanta was a place where I was able to like truly like be like, okay, I can do my own thing here. There's a lot more freedom for me and stuff. So
yeah. Do you feel like because Atlanta is, you know, Black Hollywood, a Black centric place that kind of helps with that finding yourself?
Being here, yeah, I guess so. But like it's a city, I think that creatives are called to, people who are trying to find something. A lot of people come to the city, and I think it was just my time to come to the city and find out what I want to do and be able to push that. Because now I feel like I can go somewhere else. Because like I said, I had to find who I was.
Right.
I go somewhere else, and I'm confident in myself first. And this city helped me gain my confidence. I say that.
Wow.
Who I was. Being away from familiarity, you know, in a new environment definitely grooms you, helps you be like, okay, I'm cool. It just gives you a sense of self, and, you know, of course, just my journey and shit. I'm like, it all makes sense.
Yeah. I think stepping out your comfort zone really pushes people. People who like aren't scared of their dreams or never fearful of something, I don't feel like they're pushing hard enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel that.
So, like I said, you always have these great new ideas. I saw 365 Black, you know, just blossom from, you know, kind of this idea that you had into then your dad caps and then the shirts into it's this full-blown force now, right? I mean, that shit is on the map in a big way. And you have this upcoming fashion show, The Platoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you come about that?
Well, it's a parade. It's outside, and it just, like I said, a lot of stuff. You come of a certain age, you come of a certain whatever. You're like, you know what? I want to bring this type of thing or culture in which I grew up in an environment like growing up in Philly, when back in the day you had people coming on your neighborhood with drums and the drill team, and it was a show, and it built community and culture. So everything that I do, I really do like genuinely for like community building. Like no one's going to leave anything I do without knowing something new or meeting somebody else or connecting and making whatever. So I had this idea because I'm like, I've been doing these statement pop-up shows where I go in the neighborhood, like little 5 points, and I bring my rack out there. and I style people in my brand. And then also it raises awareness behind the messages on the clothes, and people are like, oh, wow. So it's face-to-face interaction. You know, we get to talk, we get to have conversations, we can share resources or whatever. And that's what I stand behind. I stand behind interactions with the community. This parade is going to drive traffic to these businesses in the neighborhood that we have on our itinerary. We're going to start at Clark Atlanta, and we're going to, you know, integrate with the college students, and just from the college students to the West End Mall, then from there to like Ralph David. So the purpose is to build within the community and bring people together, and, you know, have a drum line and just show off these messages that everybody has, like these powerful T-shirt statement brands, brands like 365. So that's the purpose, is to bring that energy and have real in-person interactions, and not just like a show, but we all are a part of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I see
parade.
Yeah, the parade. Yeah. I've seen some kind of short clips and kind of sneak peeks that you've been doing.
Yeah.
Can you speak to any of the, you know, designers and brands that you'll be having, or is that still top secret information?
No, I would love to talk about the brands that are going to be involved. One of the brands, everybody who's involved is people who I'm like inspired by, or I just like, I love it. There's so many dope people in this world, but it's so many dope people that I'm surrounded by. So, I have someone, Mo Melanin, Mo Power. That's one of my closest homies here at Atlanta. She's also one of my top models that I'm always working with. She's on the shirt actually, but she's going to be a designer in it. And her brand is about empowerment. She suffered with like colorism growing up, so she's kind of just empowering people through, you know, the clothing and the brand. She kind of has like she has a military background as well, so it's her. Another person, Six Wells, she's a former Marine. Sayel Solomon, she actually did my tattoo. She's
yes,
going to be
I'm familiar with her. Yes.
Yeah, she's going to be, her design's going to be in there. Her message is just phenomenal. Like, she challenges your thought, and she's just really sick. Rejected Society, they're from Jersey. They're going to be a part of the platoon. Agenda Benda. And then we have like brand, I believe, that's going to be involved that's here in Atlanta called We Society. We have another brand. It's a few other brands. I ain't gonna get all the brands, but those T-shirts will be represented in the back of the platoon. It'll be a few more designers too. The models are all phenomenal. Like, and then I'm coordinated with someone. Her name is Sheila of She Creates, and she's really like killing it. Like, she's the backbone of this whole thing, for sure.
Sheila. I don't know what Sheila. I'm trying to think. I know one Sheila.
Are you familiar? I don't say that. Are you familiar with? Her Sheila M. She Creates. She has an organization called Queens of Society. That's, I think y'all may be following each other. I feel like I told.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look.
But yeah, Sheila M. from She Creates. That's her. She's an event coordinator, and she's the event coordinator of the platoon. She's a beast. But those are some of the people that's involved in the project. It's going to be dope. Ann Banks from 9/11 Hair Salon is sponsoring her space for the after party. We have a whole big like show going on after that. So, and another designer named Demi Renee, she's from North Carolina. Wow. She's going to be involved in it. So it's going to be a lot, and yeah, it's going to be big. Yeah.
And it's March 2nd?
March 2nd at the conclusion of Black History Month.
Yes. And is there like a reason why I'm sure there is, like, why right after Black History Month and not during Black History Month?
I feel like that's really the statement, you know what I mean? Like, not saying get people out of traditions, but form new traditions, you know? Like, to me, a tradition would be continue that momentum. You know what I mean? Continue that same energy that we had through February. We only got 28 days anyway, so like, continue that energy, that pride, that whatever everybody's promoting, businesses and brands and podcasts and stuff through the month of, you know, February. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more, but my goal is to just, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And I mean, March 2nd is Saturday. I know the students are going to be off. I want them to all see the message. I want them to all get involved, because those are like, usually when I wear my clothes and I'm around college kids, I'm like, oh, I'm learning, I take criminology, you know, we talk about mass incarceration, or they get the message automatically. So I just think it makes sense to, you know, to go up, you know, we share the same perspective, I should say.
Right.
So, yeah.
J. Marie, you quiet over there.
I was gonna ask her a question, but I know you said you wanted to handle it.
No, I'm good.
So, kind of talking about your clothing, and you have your messages kind of sprinkled in there, and that's the point of it. Really, it's not just fashion, but you're like making a statement, right? So, what does it mean to you to be called an activist?
I don't know, because I don't necessarily call myself an activist, but I don't call myself an activist. So,
but you are one.
It's a big title to me. I feel like I'm just a person, just with a voice like everybody, and I just chose to say something. I guess that's an activist, I guess.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's an activist. Like, you bring forefront a lot of issues that people are not paying attention to on a daily basis. Okay. You're the provider of that information for a lot of people. For even an example, we'll probably go into more later. I didn't know in Atlanta they were locking up all the homeless people, right? I had no idea. I find that type of stuff out from you. You're really the driver for that information for me.
That's important then, because not saying I'm free. I guess I just didn't think of it like that. But yeah, people do ask me like, I saw you share, like, for instance, like Mumia Abu-Jamal, so many people come to me and like, I watched the documentary, and I was like, oh shit, like, I love that people actually are really listening.
No, for real, like, I didn't know about him, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I found out about him from you. So anytime I see it now, I'm aware. I'm like, oh yeah, K Black was she's been talking about this, yeah. So don't downplay what you're doing out here. Please don't.
I was calling myself what'd you call it? Like you say, a servant, because this just free information is something I'm passionate about, but it's just also, I guess, I don't call myself an activist though.
Okay.
I think part of it too is just kind of like standing by what you say, right? So, you and I don't talk every day, but I know one thing that you are not in favor of is, like, for instance, the Super Bowl. And like, I know that because it's been like, 3 years now that you have been like, this is how I feel about it. You know what I mean? It comes around every time. And it's like, I know this about you, right? And through social media, we can have so many messages that we choose to put out about ourselves, but you seem to stand by like a real, like a certain type of message, right? And it's very Black centric. It's very pro-Black. It's very about the community, home for homeless people, everything. So like, we know that about you. That's like part of your brand, but also you live it too, right? Because it's not just about talking about it. So I do think that you should look at yourself as an activist, because a lot of people are talking about things and then they go and, they put on their jersey and they do what they do. They support. So
I learned that yesterday.
Yeah.
But hey, each own.
Okay. So, all right. One of our last questions before we jump into the hot topic of the week is, so we want to hear more about your upcoming event with Boy Society.
Oh, sweet. That's funny. I connected with Boy Society like years ago when we were doing subculture, just like some like, hey, we should do something together type of thing. And then now, like 3 years later, they're coming to Atlanta and they want to do just a dope event. They would just want to kind of like, Brooklyn wants to fill out Atlanta and see what's here. And they decided to reach out to who they consider to be dope people in Atlanta, or whoever people recommended them. So now we're going to be right in Midtown, in the queer mecca of Atlanta, queer hub of Atlanta, at it's going to be an MSR bar now, but they want to bring like runway style, just regular everyday people attending the party, just to have like a photo shoot on the runway and have conversation with Jill is Black. She's going to be there. I was like,
I
I
saw that. I was like, oh shit.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So can you explain who that is?
To be a part
you don't know who Jill is Black is?
Well, the audience may not know too, so you may want to explain who Jill is Black is.
Go on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah.
No, go on Instagram. Jill is Black on IG. That's all you need to do.
What do you guys consider Jill is Black? Is she an activist?
Yeah.
She's a writer. She's a
writer, activist, educator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
She's based in Atlanta.
On fire. I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know where she's based.
I think she is. I think maybe so. I think it's based out of Atlanta. Yeah, but no, she's. She
must be new. I'm not new. I've never ran into her or anything.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe she's traveling for it. But yeah,
Either way, it's gonna be cool. Brooklyn's dope as hell too, so that's really sick.
Dope as hell. Have you ever?
Yeah, comedy's gonna be a part of it. All the people been on your show.
Have you ever met Boy Society in person, Brooklyn?
Say it again.
Have you ever met Brooklyn in person?
I haven't met Brooklyn. I've only had phone conversations with Brooklyn.
She she takes up every corner of the room, man. Her personality is so big. She's great though, real positive.
That's cool. It's gonna be some I've literally been manifesting stuff and like boom happens. I'm like, I want to connect with more people from the West Coast, and then Brooklyn hits me up with this event or whatever, and I'm like, let's do it, man. Because when I come out there, like I'm trying to connect with y'all folks and see what's going on, bring the same energy. So
yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. Dope. When is that? When is that event?
February 24th,
I think.
24th?
Yeah, I think it's 24th. Yeah,
February 24th. And what's it called? Where will it be?
It's going to be. Dang, sorry.
Let me pull it up myself. I was looking at it earlier.
What did I do?
Just go back to the app, Kay.
Sorry. Listen, I'm old school.
No, you're good.
I'm really old school. I didn't know how to work my phone. That's crazy.
It's February. You're right. February 23rd, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, and it's at the MSR. Okay. My sister's
the new MSR.
The new MSR, because they changed places.
It used to be like Whiskey Blue. It's 2 doors or 3 doors down from MSR.
Wow, yeah.
So it's going to be awesome. I'm excited for it. I don't know who's going to DJ it yet, but it's still going to be fire.
DJ Kenzie Q. She always with Kia.
Yeah, they're always together.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think maybe like Boogie or Whitney maybe did though.
Oh, yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah. All right. So let's take it straight in. We're going to talk. We already been talking a little bit about this already, but it's Black History Month. And, we want to talk about a little bit of the importance of needing to celebrate all year round instead of just a month. And then also dive into why when Black people celebrate their Blackness, it's a threat for especially the white people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's think about that a little bit before we dive in.
Yeah.
This is some of the conversations we were having last night, actually, at the Black AF party. So that's cool.
So I'm going to start it off by just telling y'all a little bit something. Maybe you can help me through my discomfort, right? Mm-hmm. So for Black History Month, we are doing several events at my job, right? And they have called on the 8 Black people that work at this company, and we're all sitting together and we're trying to come up with not just cheesy shit ethnic food events or Afrobeat dance. This is a thing. And MR McCann. But they mean well, right? They mean well. They do this every time, when it's Latin American History Month. They do things like this too. Mm-hmm. It's not just Black History Month, but my worry, they want to have this thing called a cultural exchange where we're going to sit. It's going to be a panel of folks, not just me, but other people. So I don't even know if I'm actually going to be in it. And we're going to talk about things like code switching. We're going to talk about things like culturally sensitive advertising, some of the fails that some of these companies have done over the years because they just don't have any Black people in the room. Just a whole bunch of topics related to being Black in the professional environment. And my biggest worry is that my white coworkers are just not going to be interested, and they're just not going to attend. Because I just feel like when it comes to talking about and celebrating Blackness, they just don't want to do it. You know what I mean? They want to bop their head to whatever their favorite rap song is. They want to wear the fashion. They want to use the slang, but they want to cheer for the football player, but they don't really want to talk about Black shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's I'm just wondering, have you guys ever been in situations like that where you almost feel uncomfortable about the thought of talking or discussing Blackness because you just feel the people in the room don't really want to hear it?
Yeah. Definitely. I guess they don't get it. And that's why it's important, I guess, for history is American history. You know what I'm saying? That's every American should know or be able to understand, not just, Black people, but each other. But we are so divided in so many ways that it's not even a thing, whether it be by gender or, you know, race or whatever. So it's like, damn, people are so disconnected. Black people don't even want to hear about Black history.
Yes.
That's real. They don't.
Yeah.
We were out just talking, not even want to consider it protesting, but just outside, just talking during the Super Bowl. And the disconnect was there. Like, mothers could cried in front of who lost their sons to police brutality, have cried. I've seen mothers cry in front of like audience of people that were doing like another protest or whatever, and people were just like, why y'all gotta do this in front of this day, or why you gotta do it here? So like, I can't get it. Yeah. It is difficult though to have those conversations.
Yeah, it is. I think it maybe, I'm just thinking, you know, way back in the day when, you know, Black people were slaves, if you promoted any type of Blackness or celebrated anything like that, it was knocked down really quick because they didn't want you guys to come together and become this powerful source. And I think that has even transitioned into 2019 till this day. So when non-people of color see a group of Black people just being together and celebrating, oh my God, they're all together. They're a threat to us. You know? Yeah. Because matter of factly, if Black people all really got on the same page and really fought for, you know, what's right, we would be the most powerful source in the whole entire world. But I don't know. I just think it's conditioning.
Yeah.
It's definitely conditioning.
Suffering from like the effects of all that, you know. And it's crazy to imagine that, but it's the truth. Like, we never actually really recovered from some of these things. Yeah. And that as much as they've been like watered down, we still kind of feel it. You know, it's crazy. Right.
Generational trauma, right?
Yeah.
This is exactly generational trauma.
Soko been reading.
Bitch, I read. What you mean? Like,
I mean, she talking about general. She pulling out leadership capabilities and shit.
No,
silly.
You know, like, we talk about a lot of topics on this podcast, but like, this is something that I do pay attention to. I do read into. You know what I mean? Why are things the way it is? You know, I'm always trying to figure out why. Huh?
I feel like you've always like been there. It's just like, you know, we're older now, so things become a lot more serious to you.
Right.
And you like,
exactly. Wait, well, why is it like that? Well, how did it start? What's the root cause?
I think about the MOVE organization in Philly in 1985, where Giant Africa, the founder, was bringing people together in the community and showing them other ways. Like, you can live off the land, you can build your own economy, really. You can live within the Black economy. And that was, of course, a threat because they were also speaking up. But the other day we were having a formation in Piedmont Park. And in Piedmont Park, rules and park regulations say that 75 people or more, you need a permit. Less than 75 people, you are free to gather. They have baseball leagues in the park. We were there, me and the platoons, you can imagine, for this parade. We were there, it was probably about, I think we had about 21 to 25 people, and we were forming up in like a formation, and the park security immediately came over and asked us what we'd be doing. And I'm so confused. I'm like, I answered him because I just wanted him, you know, but I'm like, why would you be asking us what are we doing? This is a free park, you know, like, and people were, I mean, of course people were going to stop and stare and ask, but he didn't get, you know, kick us out or anything, but he was just like, what's going on here? But really, you're not supposed to ask us what's going on here. We have less than 75 people and we're hanging out in the park.
You were.
What do you need?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, it's like,
right. We can be here.
We can't gather, and you know, it's like, jeez.
No, we can't gather.
Like, yeah, we can't gather. It's like, shit. Damn.
So why aren't we allowed to celebrate ourselves, our culture, our skin, the beauty of it all?
I think there's many reasons, but one of the top 5 reasons is white people don't like to be reminded of their ugly past. And that's why white people at your job won't attend the panels, maybe, because they don't want to be reminded. Let's be honest. Right? I remember being back in the day in predominantly white schools, and we start talking about slavery, and all of them start slumping into their seats. slowly, right? It's embarrassing. They don't want to talk about it. Why do you have to talk about it? That was so long ago. Actually, it was not, but okay.
Yeah, it's not, especially when you have, things like, I think for me, I feel like I'm still discovering a part of like just me and who I am too, like as far as being Black. I'm not taking an ancestry test or anything because I'm just not putting my DNA out there like that. I didn't even want to take the background check to be a part of the Super Bowl because I'm good. But I feel like we just need to like really, really understand and learn who we are, deeper than, and then understand who we are today. Like,
yes.
We always relate everything back to slavery. And I'm not saying that it's not a thing, but like, it's slavery today. It's slavery today.
Yeah.
It's classic.
You know what I'm saying? And it's we so quick to talk about like, the past. Like, let's talk about what's going on right now. And you know what I'm saying? Because like we as a society, we always talk about like what they say. I'm not gonna have conversations with people who like Harriet Tubman with a shot or some stuff like that. I want Harriet Tubman with a shot. A lot of us, if you think of it that way, I saw memes and stuff like that because of whatever fight. Like something as simple as people not even be able to not watch like a show or something like you say, conditioning. It's so deep. The psychological effects, it's really deep. But like it's like I say, it's like we still are. It's still slavery today. When people are, it's still slavery.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, for sure. Physical slavery and mentally and emotionally. Yeah.
I went to this like class or event or something, and it was all about drunk driving and DUI, and they had, I think you guys probably heard, they had these goggles that simulated what it was like when you were drinking.
Yeah.
So then they tried to make you just like walk in a straight line, and of course the whole joke of it is that you think you're walking completely straight, but you're like zigzagging across the hallway or whatever. So I kind of wish that we could like put goggles on, like people that aren't Black, and just so they could see what it's like to kind of live in this skin and what it's like to the kind of like the burden of it in a sense, to walk into a room and someone just might treat you differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have somebody like you say hello to someone, they say yo, what up? And it's like, like just the little things, you know, and just kind of have them see what we kind of had to deal with and what we have to brush off constantly.
Yeah.
And kind of like how we have to do even 1,000 times better than everyone else in the room to get half as far,
Yeah.
So that's like what I wish is for we just like, if Black History Month could be like a day in the life for everyone.
And
for real. Like break these walls down. If they just got to understand,
Yeah. I agree. But I also, I don't like to I like to be positive, but there's a side of me that says that would never happen unless you're Black. You can shove it in their face, down their throats, and try to present it to them in a way that's easily digestible for them, and they still never get it. Don't get me wrong. There's some people they do, but do they really?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the stuff you see nowadays, like, damn. Oh well, there's so many other people in the world who get it.
Right.
The energy is going to overpower. Like right now, I feel like it's complete. Like it's shifting. Like people, just stuff had like I don't know. I just think when people really realize when you vibrate higher, then because that is when you vibrate higher than whatever negative force or energy. Because those are negative like. Spiritually, when you think about it, those are like negative energies and stuff. When people approach you on that yo, when you just saying, hey, what's up? Like,
what's up, sis?
Yeah. Or there's also ignorance, I guess. I don't know. It's a combination, layers upon layers of things for folks. But yeah, this is Atlanta is an interesting city too, being Black and being more, to me, becoming a little more aware and more conscious, like as opposed to when I first moved here and it's like it's so Black people everywhere. And now I'm like, I realize I'm from Philly, like I'm from West Philly where like some of the most revolutionary people were birthed, and I go back home and I was at like, demonstrations and stuff out there and people off the street would just walk up. Like, it's just different in Atlanta. People are so like, it's so disconnected, and it's like, you know, classism, because everybody here is not poor. You know, Black people here have money, and the Black people here who have money, I feel like are very disconnected than just the average, you know, working Black people here. Mm-hmm. And it's like, damn, my friend had to say at the protest the other day, like, just talking to people like, dang, we all Black, but you had people just ignoring her. She's like, we all used to use the same Black magic grease, just on some joke and stuff. But like, it's just different. But it's an interesting city.
Definitely an interesting city. And I think the stuff that you're doing right now is very interesting and impactful for Atlanta, to be honest. Well, do you see yourself like moving to another city anytime soon in the near future?
Yeah.
Well, where do you think you'll go to next?
I'm going to my city next.
Really?
In my city, yeah. And I'm not trying to live there for like years. I'm going places for months at a time, like touring type of thing. But Philly and up top, because like when I left there, like I said, it was different. But I feel like if I'm going to go all over the world, which I plan to do, Philly is a city that I want to start with. Like I want to be there. I want to do the things that I'm doing in Atlanta in my city, because I feel like they needs that. Even if it still has that scene, I feel like you can never use enough of that in that type of city, in that type of environment where a lot of people don't see this type of activism, you know what I'm saying? Like on some, because people there buy clothes so much, but just going to my city and having people interested in buying something that looks dope, and it can also give them like some food for thought, you know what I'm saying? And it's about people from their city. That's empowering. People don't know about Move Organization in Philly. People don't know about those leaders like on a day-to-day. Just being in Philly around the time I went up for Mumia's trial, and the hearing the night before, I'm just talking to people in the hood, you know, just in different neighborhoods. And they're like, who? Oh, that's the old head, X, Y, and Z. But it doesn't mean anything to them. It don't mean anything to see, like, we come from a city of, like, you know, really revolutionary people, like. But Philly has a very, very deep grassroots movement all over. And I just want to be there, and I want to be involved and bring what I have to the movement in Philly, really. And I want to be connected with the people there. Like, these people are amazing. I'm from Philly, so that's the next city I want to live in.
And Philly pride for sure.
Yeah.
What do you feel about the intersection of your Blackness and your queerness?
I had this conversation last night. I don't. On average, I don't really try to separate the two, like, because I just don't. And me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm Karima. I don't know if I call myself queer either. I date women, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't really have a lot of titles and labels, so I do know that I am Black. I know that I identify and I'm with my queer community 100%, but like, I don't really feel anything until like I'm in situations like, for instance, me and my friend was speaking about this. Like, we were at a rally for one of the girls who was raped at a girl who was raped at Opera nightclub, and it was like, that's like when I kind of felt semi like disconnected, but still there. It was a good moment to share that sisterhood with like all of my cisgender sisters, and it was like lovely. Whoever, I don't know whose orientation was out there, but just being like me, of a more aggressive appearing female or whatever, and being a lesbian, it was still like disconnect. It was still like, to me, a little bit of a disconnect. And me and my other homegirl, B. Edge, who also represents the same way, like, we felt it, but I think that was like the most I was like, dang, there is a little bit of a difference here. You know, there is like, and then I wanted to be there intentionally for sure, but I wanted to like also shine light, like, we here for y'all should definitely be here for us, because like, we go through a lot. We are raped, we're harassed, you know, and I just want that community to see that, you know what I mean, all of this sisterhood is one. Transgender women, lesbian, queer, all of that is one, all of it's one. And that's just where I stand with it. Like, as long as I can be the change, that's all that matters to me. That's where that I would say, like, moments like that, it's like, oh shit, I gotta remember I'm Black as hell. but I am different than other Black women. They see me a little different, you know what I'm saying? Even just like me, I'm gonna compliment you, I'm gonna show you love, I'm gonna love on you. So sometimes it may come off as if I'm being weird or flirty, I don't know, but I've been noticing a lot lately. The older I've gotten, it's like, okay, it's definitely there's some shit there.
Yeah.
But I just like I say, I don't. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was about to say something else, but yeah.
No.
What about you, Soko? Like, how does it matter to you? Is there any difference? Are your queerness and your Blackness, like, how does that, because sometimes those things, you know, our community, Black community, is not all that accepting of.
Right. No, there's a difference because I you know, Black woman, queer, the first thing someone's gonna see about me is I'm Black.
Yeah.
So that's first and foremost for me, you know what I mean? I'm Black before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course there's that queer side, that women's side, and you know, I'm in the queer culture all day, every day, but still I'm Black first before anything.
It's funny for me, like it's like my Blackness is, that's what you see, that's what it is, you know? So I kind of like go a little harder for my queer community because that's what you may not see. That's what could be hidden. You know, and I don't want you to, not to say that I'm like, you know, gay on my forehead, but I don't want you to misunderstand, you know, what this is over here and that I'm part of all of these communities. You
exactly.
know? So it's like, if you don't accept me for being Black, then already fuck you, you know, like,
yeah.
But like you could automatically say, okay, well, she's a Black girl, but at least she's straight. And it's like, no, unfortunately. for you know, so for me, it's like queer. You know, I mean, obviously Black and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kay, you have so much going on. I kind of want to recap. So you have the Platoon Parade that's happening March 2nd in Atlanta. Yes. And you're going to be joined by so many other queer, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And definitely, I want to shout out to Be Edge, because you're always with her and she's doing some dope shit as well. Definitely someone who I'm probably going to reach out to get on the Queer Ambition podcast. Just started following her on Facebook, I think last week. So let her know that's what I'm all up in the shits.
That's my revolutionary brother right there.
Yeah, for sure.
DM is coming.
What'd you say?
I said the DM is coming.
And that would be a very funny interview. She is very awesome. That's all I'll say. Yeah, she's dope. But yeah, what were you saying?
So Platoon is happening. Platoon is happening. Queer and Black as fuck. Mm-hmm. And creatives of all types. And then Boy Society, that is February 23rd at MSR. And you have Kia Comedy that's going to be there with you. Jill Black, who is apparently the shit. I did not know.
And now you know.
Yeah, I'm going to speak myself. So, I mean, you're super busy. And then it sounds like you're going to be doing a little touring. And your first stop is Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, just so much, you know, from the first time that we have spoken to you, you know, what you have going, and even just the way, you know, you're kind of presenting yourself and everything. So I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. Let us know how we can help you in any way, just to amplify, you know. Follow Kay. Kay, do you want them to follow you on your personal Noir?
Which one? No, because she got like 5 different ones.
She has like 5 IGs.
People like my Noir page because I express myself a lot more in there because it's private. But you can follow my 365 page. 365 BLACK FXCK 28 days.
Yep, and you can also find that in the info below.
Yes, the description.
Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Kay.
Oh, can I say something before I go?
Yeah, of course.
All right. I wanted to say, because when you asked me the queer question, you kind of threw me off guard. But I want to say that I feel like I didn't realize how much I represent with the queer community. Like Raw Artist Show is when I really realized like all of my models were like pretty much a part of the queer community. As some said, gay, lesbian, like. And the people there were just like looking at us like we really stood out like sore thumbs because we were like mostly all queer. Mm-hmm. And that felt really dope because I didn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just me, I'm being myself, and we all pull up like, yo, we all here. Let's do it. Yeah. So that was cool. That was it.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.